Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear sisters who are joining us live today's webinar, mashallah. Welcome. You are probably joining us from around the world. We hope all of you are well and your families are well and going through this second or third wave of lockdown well, inshallah. And we have an amazing webinar and an amazing teacher with us today, Ustada Amina Muzammil. She's an enthusiastic and experienced teacher. She was born and brought up in Saudi Arabia, where she earned her certificates in Sharia courses such as Tajweed, Fiqh, Hadith, Tawheed. She later obtained her master's in Islamic studies degree, as well as getting a diploma certificate in early years childhood. She has been working as a teacher for a number of teachers in a number of years, mashallah, in UAE. And currently she is busy teaching Tajweed and Sharia courses online, mashallah. And she will be presenting today a webinar called Connect with the Qur'an, for here comes Ramadan, and she will also be launching her course by the same name. So we have very exciting news. Stay tuned till the end, inshallah. Sister Amina, over to you, mashallah.
Okay, thank you, Sister Iroda. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulihil Kareem. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, all the sisters from all around the world. I am Amina Muzammil, and this is an introductory session to the course Connect with Qur'an, Here Comes Ramadan. So let me start by giving you an overview of this course. So first question that arises in your mind is that why to take this course? So let's see what is special in this course. When someone special comes to our house, we prepare and clean our house in the honor of our special guest. So the month of Ramadan is also special. And we do prepare for Eid also, but before that, we need to prepare our souls and ourselves for this blessed month of Ramadan, so that we can avail all the huge opportunities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept for us in this month. So what is a better way to prepare ourselves by connecting with Qur'an, as it is a month of Qur'an, and it is the month when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed Qur'an. So this course will help you to refine your Qur'an recitation, and in addition to it, each lesson will have profound Tawheed lessons in the beginning that will boost your faith and will give you a firm understanding of Islamic principles, inshallah. So without further ado, let's get started with our introductory session. What we will learn today? Today we are going to learn understanding of Islam in the light of a hadith. Second thing is that there will be two portions of the session. The first portion will be the understanding of Islam, and the second portion will be what is Tajweed and why is it important, and some Tajweed basic rules like speed of recitation for learning, rules of Ista'adha, rules of Basmala. So let's start with our hadith. This is the hadith of intention. Every book, if you will read any book of hadith, you will find this hadith in the first. What is this hadith? عن عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the reward of deeds depends upon the intentions, and every person will get the reward according to what he has intended. This hadith we might already know. All of our sisters, inshallah, we know this hadith, but every time when we see the hadith, we see different perspectives, we learn something new from it. So let's see what we can learn today. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Inna, it means indeed.
Sister Amina,
So, yeah.
your slide's not moving, so I think the hadith is in this third slide. If you can,
Okay.
yeah, if you can move your slides, please. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. It's okay. Thank you. I will share again. Just give me a moment, please. Sorry for the delay. I'm sorry. It's stuck.
Okay, we have your slides now, inshallah. Apologies, everyone, for the technical glitch. We can see your slides, Sister Amina. You can continue, inshallah.
Like there is no other option, there is no other thing on which our deeds depend upon. So let's understand this word inna. What does it stand for? For example, if I'll say Sister Iroda is standing, it doesn't mean that no one else is standing. It can be that Sister Iroda is standing, but there are other people also that are standing. But if I say inna Sister Iroda is standing, it means that no one else is standing. Only Sister Iroda is standing. So when this word inna comes in this hadith, innamal a'malu bin niyat, it means that there is no other thing on which our deeds are depending upon, on which our actions are depending upon. It's purely our intentions. So what is this niyyah on which our whole actions are depending upon? So niyyah, let's understand this word linguistically and in applied definition. So what is the linguistic meaning of this word niyyah? So niyyah means intention, and it is and its place is in our heart. And the applied definition of niyyah, why is it important in our religion? It has two main things to do. The first thing is that to distinguish between our habits and worship. And the second thing is that to distinguish between acts of worship. Let's see, what does it mean? Distinguish between the acts of worship. How does the niyyah distinguish between our acts of worship? Niyyah distinguish between our acts of worship. Like, for example, if I am praying, which prayer am I praying? Am I praying Zohar prayer or am I praying Asr prayer? So it is our niyyah that will tell us that I'm praying Dhuhr prayer or am I praying the Asr prayer? Am I praying Tahajjud or am I praying Nawafil or am I praying Sunnah prayer or am I praying obligatory prayers? So this niyyah is the thing that is distinguishing between the different acts of worship. Am I fasting? So am I fasting for Ramadan or am I fasting just to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a nafil, a fast? So the first point to understand is that it distinguishes between the acts of worship. The second point is very important to understand, that it distinguishes between habits and worship. What does it mean? So are you taking an obligatory shower or are you showering just to cool down yourself? So are you, this is what niyyah comes in, and it will tell you that are you doing it as an obligatory shower? Are you taking it as an obligatory shower or are you taking as normally just to cool yourself down? Or for example, are you helping your mom because she took care of you when you were a baby and now you think that it's my turn to help her? Or are you doing it because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded you to do it? So are you feeding others or giving gift to others just as just because they gave you gift or they gave you food when you went to their house? Or are you doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And with this comes an important scholars say the acts of worship of people of negligence are habits, and the habits of wise people are the acts of worship. It is very important point to understand that what does it mean? What does it mean that the wise people's acts are worship, but the people of negligence, their habits, their worship is also habit? So let's understand it with an example. How does it happen? Imagine if I am a careless person and I started praying at a very early age because my mom told me so. Told me to pray. Now it has become my habit. I just have to pray. If I do not pray, what will happen? I couldn't sleep. I feel something is missing. I need to pray just because it's my habit. I forgot that why I am praying, because from the beginning of my early years, my mom told me to pray and I started praying and eventually I forgot why I am praying. So what happens is that my act of worship has converted now into a habit. This is one example. So let's understand another example. For example, I'm reciting Qur'an. It's an act of worship. I'm reciting Qur'an, but what happens with time? I forgot why I am reciting it, and I'm just reciting it without understanding it, without pausing in it. I just have to finish it quickly. I forgot that why I was reciting the Qur'an. What happened is that my act of worship has turned into an act of habit. Especially this happens in our prayers. We do not know what we are reciting. With Surah Al-Fatiha reciting every day, we forgot that why we are reciting Surah Al-Fatiha in our prayers, why we are doing this act of worship. So this become eventually our habits. Until and unless we become the wise people, and wise people, they change their habits into the acts of worship. How do they do it? Let's look at the routine of a wise person. Everybody wakes up in the morning. Everybody has to go to the washroom. So for example, if I am taking a shower, I just woke up and I am taking a shower and I'm a very wise person. What will I do? I will take a shower, not just to cool myself down, but I will take a shower to remove that impurity from me. And as the hadith says, at-tahuru shatrul iman, it is a huge part of our faith, that cleanliness is a huge part of our faith. So my time that I spent cleaning myself in the washroom has now changed into an ibadah. It was supposed to be my habit because I wake up every day, I have to take shower, I have to go to work. But now, as because I intended that I will take a shower, it doesn't take much time to do this intention. So when I went to the washroom, I took a bath. I just reminded myself that I'm taking a shower because I have to remove impurity from me, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He loves pure, He loves mutahhirin, and I'm changing my clothes, I'm doing my laundry. Why I'm doing it? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Muddassir, He said, وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِّرْ. So you clean your clothes because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded you. So you are doing your routine work. You are doing it, you are doing your routine work, but you are changing that routine into the worship of Allah. Each and every second that you spend in the washroom or doing laundry or changing your clothes, your time has now been changed into the act of worship. So move on to the next thing. Now I'm hungry because I woke up. Now I'm hungry. I have to take food. A normal person usually will just go and eat food out of desire and because he's hungry. But a wise person, he will eat food in compliance with the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As he said in Surah Al-A'raf, Kulu washrabu. He said in Surah Al-Baqarah, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, kulu min tayyibati ma razaqnakum. So he turns his time of eating and drinking and cooking into worship just by this little intention. The whole time you spend in the kitchen cooking for your family, you spend your time eating, you spend your time cleaning the dishes, all of this will convert into an act of worship. Everybody eats every day, right? So instead of doing it as a habit, you changed it into a worship. So now, after that, he goes to the school for studying or doing homework. Why does he do that? He thought that I should do that because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. So the first revelation that came down, it was about gaining knowledge. So why shouldn't I gain knowledge? So the whole time he spent in the school or in university or studying, the whole time has been converted into an act of worship. So he changed his habit. He has to go to the school anyways. So he changed his habit now and he converted into an act of worship. So for example, after that he says, now it's weekend, I have to go for some outing and travel and do some outdoor stuff. So a normal person will just go and do this stuff. But if there is a wise person, he will think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded in his Qur'an, إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. In the creation of the samawat, the skies and the earth, there are so many signs for the people of understanding. So I'll go outside, I'll look at these natural things, and I'll look at how beautifully they have been created. And at the same time, I'm doing outing. At the same time, I'm doing whatever I want to do. But I have converted my habit into the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, this is my time to go to exercise or to gym or to walk. I'll do it because I'll do the intention because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Al-mu'minu al-qawiyyu khayrun wa ahabbu ila Allah min al-mu'min al-dha'if." A strong believer is better and is more lovable to Allah than the weak believer. And there is good in everyone. So if I'm doing exercise, if I'm going to gym, I'm making myself strong for everything. So the whole act of doing exercise has now been converted into act of worship. So now everybody has to go to sleep, right? So a person is sleeping because he is tired. But there is another wise person who is sleeping because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَكُمْ سُبَاتًا. And we have made your sleep for rest. And then he said, وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا, and he made the night as a cover. And his whole act of sleeping, and if he intends that if I will not sleep at night, how can I wake up for Fajr? How can I do my other actions if I will not well rested? Then this whole night he's spending at night, he's sleeping. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has converted this into an act of worship. So, and then he said, وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا, and he made the day for livelihood. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this day for me to go outside and look for work and do work and get something for my family and for myself. So this whole act of doing the job is also been converted into worship. So this is an important point to understand. If you will just do an intention before doing anything, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will convert the whole time you have spent in that deed into the worship. So our every action can be ibadah just by doing a proper intention. This is how easy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made our religion for us, so that we can utilize each and every moment and convert it into ibadah. This is how much He loves us, subhanahu wa ta'ala, subhanallah. May Allah make us from those who think before doing anything. So before doing anything, ask yourself, why am I doing it? It's a simple question. If you're doing anything in this in your day, just ask yourself, why am I doing it? And then you can convert each and every moment of your life into ibadah. Subhanallah. So this is one hadith, and there are ulama that said that there are two hadith on which the orbit of Islam lies upon. So this was the first hadith, and the second hadith is man amila amalan laysa alayhi amruna fahuwa rad. So whoever performs an action that we have not commanded will have it rejected. This is the second hadith. If you will understand these two hadiths, you will understand the whole spirit of this religion. What does it mean? Scholars took out two important rules from this hadith. First rule is, every act of this world is originally permissible unless a rule of sharia says it otherwise. The second rule is, every act in religion is originally haram unless the word unless is missing. So unless permissible by sharia. So what does that mean? It means that according to this hadith, if I'm doing any act in this religion, I have to look that if it is permissible by Sharia. No. Sharia means that it is permissible either in Qur'an or in Sunnah or in a hadith. So, for example, I love Allah so much, so I want to pray now. I want to pray Dhuhr prayer, but I say that I have done a lots of bad deeds and a lots of sins. So instead of praying 4 rak'ah for Dhuhr, let me pray 5 rak'ah. How does it sound? I'm not doing anything bad. I'm just praying, but it's not permissible according to this hadith. Only everything in this religion is haram. You have to look for the evidence from Qur'an or Sunnah. Otherwise, you cannot perform that good deed. So if I'm praying 5 rak'ah of Dhuhr prayer, that will not be permissible. If I say, okay, everybody is fasting, instead of me fasting until Maghrib, I will fast until Isha, because I have done more sins than others. So I love Allah so much. So let me fast until Isha prayer. What's wrong with it? I'm just fasting more. And fasting has so many good, I will get so much good reward. That will not be permissible. So you have to make sure in the religion that any act in the religion, you have to look for evidence. You have to look for evidence from Quran or Sunnah. Otherwise, it will not be permissible. Even if you will love it, even if you are doing out of love, even if I'm doing out of love, even if I'm praying 5 rak'ah out of love, that won't be acceptable near Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to be very careful in it. On the other hand, every act in this world is originally permissible unless the rule of Sharia says otherwise. So, for example, subhanallah, Allah has made everything, every worldly act for us permissible. If I am using my car to go to work, if I'm using an aeroplane to go to work, if I'm using train to go to work, all permissible, subhanallah, until and unless Allah says otherwise or it comes otherwise in Quran or Sunnah. So, for example, every drink you can drink, mango juice, orange juice, banana juice, you can drink smoothies, you can drink milkshakes, you can drink a lots of things until and unless there came something that is blood, drinking blood or drinking wine. So now that's not permissible for you. But the other things, subhanallah, they are so wide, the ni'am of Allah is so wide that we cannot even count, subhanallah. So similarly in eating, you can eat everything you want. You can eat biryani, you can eat korma, you can eat lasagna, pasta, you can eat pizza, everything you want you can eat until and unless Allah says otherwise. Until and unless Allah said that you cannot eat pig, but all the other things are permissible. Subhanallah, this is how easy it is. So before doing any deed, you have to ask two questions. And this is what Islam is. Just ask yourself, why are you doing it? And how are you doing it? How it will guide you in the religion, that am I doing it according to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said or no? Or am I doing how I like it to do? And why am I doing it? It will help you in your intentions, and you will convert every action of your day into ibadah, subhanallah. So this is how easy our religion is. Just from now on, before doing anything, just stick to these two questions, and inshallah, everything will be good. Now let's move on to the next portion of our session, that is related to tajweed. So the question is, what is tajweed? Tajweed is the set of rules governing the way in which words of Holy Quran should be pronounced during its recitation. Or in easy words, if you want to understand, to give each letter and each harakah its rights. So just imagine you are a person and you have some rights. You have a right to eat, you have a right to live, you have a right to drink, you have right of privacy. So if someone takes away your rights, how do you feel? Do you feel happy about it or do you feel angry about it? Of course, no one will feel happy about it. Everybody feel angry, everybody will feel anxious about it if somebody takes away their rights. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this book with each letter and each harakah, how it must be pronounced. This is how Allah gave us this book, and every letter, every harakah has its own rights. And to understand the rights and to read it properly is tajweed, in simple words. So why should I read tajweed? Why is it important? First, man is not honored without knowledge, nor favored without wisdom, nor given superiority without the company of the noble. The Quran is the greatest book that was revealed to the best of prophets, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and those who carry Quran are the most honorable of the ummah, and the reciters of Quran are the best people of this religion. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. In Surah Al-Muzammil, He said, and recite the Quran with tartil. So what is tartil? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, indeed, Allah desires that the Quran be recited in the manner it was revealed, in the proper manner, in the manner it was revealed, with correct pronunciations, with correct given rights and rules to its ayat. It is reported in a good hadith by Tibrani that Abdullah bin Majid radiallahu anh said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the best amongst you are those who learn the Quran and teach it. So why won't you be from those who either learn Quran or teach Quran? You will be from the best people. And there is another hadith which says, the one who is skilled in reciting the Quran will be with the noble, honorable scribes. And the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is a beautiful hadith, subhanallah. Allah has his own people among mankind. His own people among mankind. So Sahaba asked, O Messenger of Allah, who are they? And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the people of Quran. They are the people of Allah and his chosen ones. Who doesn't want to be the chosen one of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Subhanallah, everybody wants to be the chosen one. That's why it is so important to understand and apply tajweed while you are reciting the Quran so that you can read it properly. There is one more important thing that you need to understand, that some people, they recite Quran, mashallah, with their whole heart, they love it, and they read it so much, but they do not understand because of their not correct, because they are not reading it with correct pronunciation of the letters. Each letter, gradually it changes and eventually it changes the meanings of the sentences of Quran. Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that this is the reward for good people, and he is reading that this is not the reward for good people. Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying something, and because he changed the pronunciation of the letter, because he changed, or maybe he stretched something he wasn't supposed to stretch, and maybe he didn't stretch something he was supposed to stretch, the meaning of the whole ayah changes. And subhanallah, if you are not reading it correct, these small mistakes that will not give you any good, that will not give you reward, that Quran, you will be getting sin because of reading it wrong, because of reading what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not said in Quran. So it's a very important issue that you need to understand. Maybe if you are not reading Quran properly, you might be getting sins instead of getting good reward. And Ramadan is coming. Ramadan is the month of Quran. And Ramadan, if you want to connect properly, you have to understand what are the rules and how I'm supposed to read Quran properly. So I hope it's clear until now. Why is it important? So let's move on to our next rule. So rules of ista'adha, rules of seeking refuge. What are the rules of seeking refuge? Why do we read it? Why do we read A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim before reciting Quran? Have you ever seen A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim written in Quran? I hope nobody has ever seen written in Quran A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. So from where did it come? It came from a command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He commanded in Quran, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. So when you recite Quran, you have to seek refuge from Allah, مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ, from the shaitan, seek refuge and protection from shaitan ar-rajim. So this is the command that came. But how do we recite A'udhu Billah? This came in Sunnah. That's why you cannot see in Quran anywhere written A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, because it is not present in Quran. It has been revealed in Sunnah. It has been told us from Sunnah. So why do we read it? We turn to Allah, seeking his protection from Satan. We turn to Allah so that Allah will help us in our deen and in our dunya, and he will help us in doing the right deeds, because shaitan, he never wants us to do the right deeds. So this is the way in which we seek protection from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he might protect us from shaitan. So what is the rule of reading A'udhu Billah? What if I forget reading A'udhu Billah? There are different opinions between the scholars. Some of them says, no, it's obligatory. We have to read it. If you will not read it, you will get sin. But qawl rajih means that a committee of ulama, they sat down and they saw all the ahadith and they said, no, it is mustahab. Mustahab means if you ever forget about reading a'udhu billah, Allah will forgive you. You will not be punished for it. So how do we read isti'adha? As I told you, that a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim is not written in Qur'an. It came to us through sunnah. So there are 3 different ways in which we can recite a'udhu billah. And this is, subhanallah, this is a sunnah that has been almost died. Most of us does not know that we can read a'udhu billah in different ways. So there are 3 ways in which you can recite a'udhu billah, and I hope that you learn these 3 ways so that you can revive a new sunnah. And reviving a new sunnah has a great reward. Let's see how many types of how can we read a'udhu billah. The first one is a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, that we already know, alhamdulillah. The second way is a'udhu billahi as-sami'il alim minash shaitanir rajim. And the third way of reciting a'udhu billah is a'udhu billahi as-sami'il alim من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفثه. So I seek refuge in Allah, all hearing, all knowing, from accursed shaitan and his evil insinuations, breath, and impurity. So hamzihi, it means pressing throat. These are the characters of shaitan that came in hadith. Hamzihi means pressing throat. Nafkhihi means his arrogance. Wanafhihi means impure poetry and impure talks, such as inviting women for haram. So these are 3 types of a'udhu billah that you can start with. You can read any of these a'udhu billah before reciting Qur'an. Fiqh of isti'adha. So let's understand some of the rules that comes with isti'adha. When should we read it out loud, and when should we lower our voice? So a'udhu billah, for example, if I intend to read Quran in a louder voice, so I have to read isti'adha in a louder voice. I cannot recite a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq. I cannot read it like this. If I am intending to read Quran in a louder voice, I have to recite a'udhu billah in a louder voice. Instead of salah, in our prayer, we read a'udhu billah even if the imam is praying. He doesn't read a'udhu billah out loud. Even if he's reciting Quran out loud, he does not read a'udhu billah out loud. This is an exceptional case. But the rest of the time, when you are reciting Quran loudly, you have to recite a'udhu billah loudly. And if you are reciting Quran in a lower register, then you have to read a'udhu billah in a lower register. I cannot do it like a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. It's not like that. Okay. So for what if we are sitting in a halaqah of Quran? For example, I have 10 students and they're all sitting. So everybody has to read a'udhu billah, or just one have to read a'udhu billah? So if you are sitting in a halaqah and everybody is getting a turn to recite Quran, if the first one recite a'udhu billah in a louder voice, it is from everyone. So the next person, when he has to recite the Quran, he doesn't have to recite a'udhu billah again. The third thing, what if we get coughing and sneezing? I'm reciting Quran and I started coughing and I started sneezing. Do I have to read a'udhu billah again? No, you don't have to read a'udhu billah again. So what if we are explaining tajweed rules or tafsir during our recitation? So I read one ayah and I started explaining you the tajweed rules and the tafsir of that ayah. So should I recite a'udhu billah again when I have to read another ayah? No. As long as we are stick with the Quran talk, we don't have to recite A'udhu Billah again. What are we supposed to, when are we supposed to read Ista'adha? So for example, if I am reciting Quran and my mom came and she says, what do you want to eat today? And I stop and I say, okay, I want to eat pizza today. So now I have to read Ista'adha. Anything other than Quran, if I talk or say anything other than Quran, then I have to read A'udhu Billah again before reciting Quran. Rules of Basmala. So why do we read Basmala? Why do we read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim? It is necessary to read it before the beginning of every surah. Why? Why do we have to read Bismillah before starting any surah? Because every surah came down with Bismillah. So we start every act with Bismillah, and in the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most beneficent, to seek help from Him, and He puts barakah in every act that is started with His name. So fiqh of Basmala, the reader doesn't have any choice of saying Basmala or not when he's starting in the middle of surah. Sorry, the reader has the choice. So if I'm reciting in the beginning of every surah, I have to say Bismillah because it came down with Bismillah. That's why Bismillah is written every time before each surah. So for example, even if I am reciting in the morning or evening azkar, I'm reciting three times Qul Huwallahu Ahad. Each time I have to start with Bismillah because it came down with Bismillah. So every time I'm starting Qul Huwallahu Ahad, I have to start with Bismillah. But if I am in the middle of a surah, if I am reciting Surah Al-Baqarah, and I'm in the middle of the surah, or I'm reciting Amana Rasulu bima unzila ilayhi min rabbih, so I can just read A'udhu Billah and then I can start reciting it without Bismillah. I can. But if I want to recite Bismillah, well and good, no issues with that. But in the beginning of the surah, it's compulsory. How about Surah At-Tawbah? Surah At-Tawbah, there are different opinions in the scholars. Some of the scholars says that we do not read Bismillah before Surah At-Tawbah. It's because the ayat that came down, Allah was angry upon mushrikeen and He shows bara'ah. So that's why we do not have to recite Bismillah. But the huge other scholars, they say they didn't write Bismillah because they didn't know that Surah At-Tawbah and Surah Al-Anfal, they are the same surah or they are the different surah, because one surah can have more than one name. Because the essay inside it is very similar in Surah Al-Anfal and in Surah At-Tawbah. So that's why they said that Sahaba didn't know that it's two surahs or it's one surah. That's why they didn't write Bismillah. And if that is the case, that Allah is angry in this surah, then Surah Muhammad, it starts with the same anger with the kuffar. So there is Bismillah written over there. So if it was the same reason, then there shouldn't have any Bismillah before that. But this is one opinion and that is one opinion. You can take whatever opinion you want to take. So you can read Bismillah, and if you don't want to read, you can not read. It's okay for you. So levels of recitation. Last thing I need you to understand that there are 3 levels of recitation: slow, medium, and fast. I can recite slowly, I can recite in a medium speed, I can recite in a faster speed. For example, I'm reading in a slow pace. A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. If I want to read in a medium pace, I will recite A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. If I want to read it fastly, I'll recite أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So there are 3 different levels of recitation. You have heard in Taraweeh, most of the imam, they recite fast. So they can recite as long as they are not they're not forgetting any tajweed rules. So fast recitation you can recite in Taraweeh, or if you have a very good hold on tajweed, then you can recite fast. Normally, most of us read in a medium speed, but if you want to learn tajweed rules, it is necessary that you read it slow. Otherwise, you will not be able to implement each and every rule on Qur'an. For the basic level, you have to recite Qur'an in a very slow pace, especially when you are in a learning position. You have to make sure that you read Qur'an in a slow pace. Some of the tips while doing tajweed, while practicing tajweed, is that if you want to practice tajweed, record yourself while you're practicing, so that you can listen later that, okay, this is the mistake, then you can hear your mistakes. Otherwise, you won't be able to get your mistakes. Second thing is listen to Shaykh. If you are practicing one surah, these are the names of 2 Shaykh I have written, Shaykh Ayman Suwaid or Abdullah Basfar. You recite with the Shaykh in a slow pace. They recite in a slow pace. That's why I have written their name. So you choose a Shaykh with a very slow pace, and then you practice with that Shaykh. Third tip is that mirror is your best friend. You need to have mirror if you want to learn tajweed. You keep the mirror in front of you so that you can see your face movements. Fourth thing, read as slow as possible. So this was the introductory session of tajweed and this course. Inshallah, it will all be understood. If you have any questions, you can ask your questions in the chat. And thank you all for attending. Jazakumullahu khayran.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Amina, for this very informative webinar, mashallah. I hope everybody found it beneficial. And we do have, I also wanted to highlight one thing about the being able to read Qur'an, because we know from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that some of the companions found it very difficult to read the Qur'an, and the Prophet used to encourage them to, read and learn how to read. And he used to say that, for those who can read fluently, there's 1 ajr for each letter, each harf, and that the one who struggles in reading, you get 2 ajr, right? SubhanAllah, because the point here is you should make the effort to read. Like, we all should make the effort to read the Quran with the correct tajweed, with the correct pronunciation, right? It's very, very important. It's sunnah, and it's the effort that counts here, mashallah. And this is what Sister Amina's course is about, mashallah. It's for those who can read the Quran, but their tajweed is a little bit weak, and they want to improve their tajweed. And it's a 5-week intensive course, mashallah. Sister Amina, we have few questions about your course. So can you tell us who is this course for, and what ages is it suitable? What age groups?
So this course is for those who have already read Quran. They know how to read it, but their pronunciation and tajweed rules are very weak. Not for those who have not yet read Quran. So this course is for the ages 15 to 40 for now. because I don't want to go on an age above 40 and below 15, so that they can understand at the same rules.
Mashallah. So, are there any preconditions to enroll in this course? Do they have to know certain things?
Yes, there will be a consent form given to those who are registering for the course. As I cover my face and do not show it in public. And for Tajweed course, we need to see each other's faces for deep understanding of the rules of Tajweed. So whoever is interested in this course, they must have a male-free zone to keep their privacy, because we need to turn our cameras on. This is the only condition.
Yes, as Sister explained, sisters, you if you are considering to enroll in this course, mashallah, you will have to sign a consent form, as Sister Amina, a niqabi sister, mashallah, but she will have to remove her niqab to be able to teach. As she explained to me, this is very intensive course. You will have lots of one-to-one time where she will be looking at your mouth and the way you read and pronounce each letter, and she will be correcting you. So there will be lots of listen and repeat, a lot of one-to-one time. So for that reason, she will need everybody to turn their cameras on, including herself. And you'll have to sign a consent form that, yes, I agree to take the lessons in a male-free zone, inshallah. So the next question we have is, what is the class size?
There will be two types of students. One, listeners. You can register as listeners, and you can register as a proper student. So for the proper students, the class size will be 10, not more than 10, because each student will get one-on-one time. So not more than 10 students. But as a listener, you can attend the classes, but you will not, I won't listen to you. So the students, the proper students who will enroll for this course, they will get one-on-one time. Each student, I will listen to them personally, and I will correct them personally. We will all be getting WhatsApp group additionally, and we will be getting homeworks. But as a listener, if you want to attend the classes, you can attend the classes. But for the students, only 10.
Yes, mashallah, sisters. So as you heard, the class size is 10 for students who want to make full benefit of it. This is intensive tajweed course, beginners tajweed course, for everybody who can read the Qur'an, but their tajweed is weak and they want to rectify and improve their tajweed, yeah? So the class size is only 10. But those who want to join as a listener, so you can still listen to Sister Amina's explanation of Tajweed rules. And remember, each lesson consists of 2 hours. So 1 hour Tajweed and 1 hour Islamic studies. So for your spirituality, she'll be teaching Hadith and Tawheed and, preparing us for Ramadan. So you can still benefit from it. And there is a discount code for those who want to enroll as a listener. So you can go through the link to register is being shared now. Remember, it's only 10 students that she's taking on. So you can go to the link which is being shared via the chat box, read more information about the course, check out the curriculum, and you can register now. For launching price, £57. The launching price is £57. Otherwise, the course is £80 for 5 weeks, 10 online lessons, 10 live sessions, and each lesson lasts for 2 hours. Recordings will be provided, and you pay one time and have lifetime access, right? I just want to repeat that it is an intensive tajweed course plus Islamic studies course to uplift your spirituality and get ready for Ramadan. Read Qur'an properly and increase your understanding. She will be going through meanings of hadith and some of the shorter surahs. And you can enroll as a full student for £57, which is the launching price for tonight, mashallah, for those who are joining this live. And for those who want to join as a listener, you can use listen 50 at checkout and still join as a listener. So you won't be able to get one-to-one practice with Sister Amina, but you can listen to her tajweed explanations and join in Islamic studies lessons, mashallah. Sister Amina, we have the next question. Are there any tests or assignments in this course?
Yes, after each lesson, they will be given some research work. They have to find out the words about the rules. So they have to look in Qur'an, and they have to do some research work and practice, and they have to give it in the WhatsApp group.
So they will be getting small homeworks weekly, mashallah, but you don't need to purchase any other books. Just come with your copy of Qur'an, yeah? Just bring your copy of Mus'haf. All you have to bring is your Qur'an, and this course is purely about connecting to the Qur'an. And what is the teaching? Can you just explain a bit more about your teaching method and how will the students learn?
Yes. So first part of the session will be about Tawheed and about explaining a hadith and everything. And in the second part, we will be practicing a surah. And then we will be practicing new rules. So every session will have 2 or 3 new rules. After each rule, for example, I gave you one rule, we will search that rule on that spot. We will search it from Qur'an, and then we will practice. Each and every student will show us their example, and then we will move on to the second rule. After that, after the explanation of second rule, I will make sure that each and every student understood it properly. They will practice it with me. Each and every student will show me the word of that rule. And then lastly, we will move on to the surah. We will practice that surah, and they will be given time to practice that surah later on. In the next session, after explaining a hadith and everything, first thing will be I will be listening to the previous lesson. So in the next session, I will be listening to their previous surah, and then in the last of the session, they will be practicing a surah with me. While reciting the surah, or while they are reciting surah, each one who is reciting has to turn on their camera. While practicing, they will be able to see my facial movements also. And later on, they will be just given homework to practice and to understand the rule properly. So they will be sharing their homework in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, mashallah, it sounds very exciting. I'm going to, inshallah, register my daughters as well. By the way, if you are enrolling as a family, you can do so. And if you have older girls, they can benefit from joining in with you as a listener if you enroll yourself. Like I said, the unique point of this course, mashallah, is a lot of one-to-one time with a certified tajweed teacher. So you will get to practice on a one-to-one basis with a Sister Amina, which is why the class size is very small, only 10 students, mashallah. And what if students cannot make it to the live lesson, Sister Amina?
So if the student is not able to attend the live session, they will get the recording of the session, so they can listen to the session later, and they can send the previous surah on WhatsApp so that I can listen to their previous surah also.
Okay, so mashallah, so you will have a private support group on WhatsApp where you can arrange extra practice sessions with Sister Amina if you miss the live lessons. You also have access to recordings where she explains the Tajweed rule and the Islamic studies lesson for that day, mashallah. And also, will there be a certificate of completion or achievement for students?
Yes, inshallah, there will be a certificate and the end certificate of achievement of this Tajweed course.
MashaAllah. Overall, what are the learning outcomes? So what will the students achieve by the end of this 10 weeks? MashaAllah, it sounds like a very intensive course, right? So each week you have 2 lessons and each lesson lasts 2 hours. That's 4 hours a week, MashaAllah. So by the end of the course, students will be able to
Inshallah, by the end of the course, they will be fully prepared for Ramadan spiritually. Even if they are entering as a listener, they will be able to. First stage of learning is listening. So they will be able to listen properly to all the ahadith and all the, especially when you listen to the other people's mistakes. Other people's mistakes make yourself more conscious about, okay, this is the mistake that can happen and I don't have to do it. So at the end, inshallah, there are the mistakes, the basic mistakes will be removed. The mistakes that changes the meanings of ayat, they will be removed, inshallah. So they will be able to recite Quran without getting any sin, even their prayers, inshallah, and they will be able to understand the main Tawheed rules and the rules that will remove their basic mistakes, inshallah, and their pronunciations will be corrected, inshallah.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair, Sister Amina. So this is sisters, take advantage of this course. MashaAllah, Sister Amina's course, it is Tajweed and Islamic studies, 2 combined in one to prepare us for Ramadan. Inshallah, like I said, we have to make the effort to improve our recitation of the Qur'an. As the Prophet ﷺ said, we get 1 ajr for each harf, right? And if you struggle, you get 2 ajr. So let's practice that sunnah. And if you are somebody who struggles to read Quran properly but can read, this is the precondition. You should be able to read Quran, but struggle to read, then highly recommend to join this course. MashaAllah, nowadays we hear so many people looking for Quran teachers online. We have done all the background check on Sister Amina's certificates, and she's an experienced teacher. She is a certified teacher, and she has all the qualifications. And mashallah, like I said, this is a 5 weeks long intensive Tajweed plus Islamic studies course to prepare us for Ramadan by connecting us to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So run and enroll in this course. The links are being shared in the live chat box now, and you can enroll today for £57 instead of £80, for £57. And if you want to join as a listener, because you cannot commit, we fully understand that you can't commit, you just want to join in as a listener, listen to people recitation of Tajweed and listen to Islamic studies talks, then use listen 50 at checkout to get 50% off, inshallah. And the only difference in that is you don't get one-to-one practice of Tajweed with the Tajweed teacher, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Do we have any more questions? I think Sister Adesina asking, would there be another group if the first group is filled up?
For now, in the March, there is one group, but inshallah, later on, after Ramadan, there will be other groups.
And Sister Anam Khan is asking any links that will be shared for the session if it was missed. Yes, if you missed the live session, you can have recordings to listen to the explanation of Tajweed rules for that day, as well as Islamic studies lesson, and you can arrange your one-to-one practice time with Sister Amina via the WhatsApp support group. So all the students, all the 10 students, only 10, remember, who enrolled in this course will have access to Sister Amina via WhatsApp support group, inshallah, where you can arrange extra practice time with her, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. I think we have no more questions, right? That's the end of the questions.
Also, I just want to add about the PDF. About PDF of all the sessions will be given free to them, so that they can download it and print it out, the PDF of all the rules and all the slides, inshallah.
Yes, inshallah. PDF notes will be shared as well as links. And some sisters asking about the previous webinars. You can find all the webinars. Please don't forget to subscribe to Raising Young Scholars YouTube channel. Some of our webinars are privately hosted. You can find links to all our webinars as well as PDF notes inside RYS Digital Library, inshallah. So go visit the website. The links will be dropped now, www.raising-scholars.com, and subscribe to the website, the library. The membership is free for all. It's a gift from RYS, so you can access all the private and public webinars as well as download the PDF notes of all the previous webinars. And also want to remind that for those who are looking to increase their productivity and fill up their days with barakah, we are still running the promotion for the Well-Planned Muslim Mum journal, planner and diary. It's a complete toolkit, and we have a 50% discount, special 50 hashtag. You can go to the link which is in the description box, as well as will be dropped now, and use special 50 hashtag to get 50% off the Well-Planned Muslim Mum journal, planner and diary. You can check out the sample pages, read reviews by other mums who have used it. It is an amazing toolkit developed by a group of mums for a group of mums, mashallah. So with that, sisters, I would like to say Jazakallah khair, and a big thank you for attending today's live. And yes, you can watch back this on RYS channel. Somebody is asking, and we look forward to seeing you in our future webinars. We have an amazing sister, Abdullah, delivering a webinar next Wednesday. Stay tuned. You can sign up tomorrow, inshallah, for that webinar. She's my teacher from Riyadh, and she's an amazing teacher, mashallah. She'll be delivering a free webinar next Wednesday, inshallah. So with that, we would like to wrap up today's session. Once again, Jazakallah khair for attending today's live, and we look forward to seeing you in our future webinars. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May Allah accept our efforts and overlook our shortcomings. And subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.